Okay, here's my brewing system. Today we're making two batches. We're going to make a nut brown ale and my Island View House IPA. So here's my system. I have two kegs, one for the hot water, one for the boil, and I got I believe it's a 52 quart Coleman Extreme Cooler for my mash tun. Two pumps, one to recirculate the mash when it gets close to mash out, and one just to supply water to the mash tun. I use two 8 or 9 jet natural gas burners, one under each of the kegels. So in the mash tun I have a copper manifold. I've tried many different types of manifolds and I find that this one works the best for me. So let's get started. Okay, here's a picture of my mill. It's a homemade mill, 6-inch rollers, smooth, really grinds through the grain quickly. And I've got a hopper I'm going to put on top, and we'll get that started. Okay, I've got my nut brown ale all bagged up and ready to go. Currently in the mill. This hopper holds about 15 or 16 pounds, and we'll just get her started. Okay, that's it for that. And there's my grain. Okay, I got my water in. I got the grains ground. Once she hits about 170 degrees, I'll start the mash. And in the meantime, I'll go get my fermenters cleaned and sanitized. Okay, we've reached 170 degrees, so we're going to start the dough in. You got it in? I'm going to underlet this and put in the grains. That's about 8.5 pounds of grain. And I'm going to turn on my pump and put in, about 3 gallons of water. Get it primed. And one more time. There it goes. Okay, I got my 3 gallons of water in, and now I'm going to stir the mash. This is my favorite mash stirring utensil. It's a 12-inch stainless steel whisk. It really works well. Breaks up the dough balls quicker than a paddle. And that's about it. We'll let it rest for 5 minutes and we'll check the temperature. Okay, the mash is rested for roughly 5 minutes. I'm going to use my Atkins trusty thermometer and take a quick temperature reading. Shooting for around 152 degrees, and we'll let that rest for a minute or so. Okay, it's rested for a few minutes and it appears it's 151.5 degrees, so virtually perfect. Okay, while we have my mash resting, I'm going to get the fermenters sanitized. And I washed them all, and I usually use Star Sand, and I only use about maybe a cup and a half per fermenter. Don't really need any more than that. Once I get this in here, I'm just going to put on the lid and kind of shake them up throughout the brew day. And I've never had a problem with sanitation. You know, you only need to coat the sides of the bucket. And this is by far easier than trying to fill the bucket and waste all of your Star Sand. So again, I will shake those up throughout the day. Well, while the mash is mashing, I'm going to take this time to get my hops weighed out for both batches. I have, there's the sack of grain for my next batch, and I'm going to do these consecutively, and I'll kind of show you how I go about doing that. It's very efficient as far as saving time. I only put in enough water in the hot water tun just to get enough and a few extra gallons for the first mash. And now I'm going to put in a little extra, and that way I'm going to have enough for my sparge, and basically almost all I need for the next mash in. So I'm going to use this extra hour I've got to get that heated up and take care of that. So I'll see you in a little bit. Okay, while we were waiting for the mash, I went ahead and weighed out the hops for each batch. There's 2 additions for the nut brown, and then there's 4 additions for the Island View IPA. We've got about 10 minutes left of the mash. I've got my water about 180 degrees. It's about 11 gallons in there. And then the mash is probably, well, it's still 149.8 degrees, so it held temperature pretty well. We're going to give it about 10 more minutes, and I'm going to start recirculating the mash to clear the runnings, and we'll start running it off into the boil kettle.